You're listening to the Monday Night Community Show with Daniel on BRFM.
This is the Daniel Monday Night Community Show on demand through YouTube. Thank you very much for choosing to listen to us through this method. If you'd like to keep up to date with when I add new interviews, then subscribe to this channel. So we're now going to be talking to Kirsty. She's going to be talking all about floods and locally as well. Firstly, thank you very much for talking to us.
Yeah, that's fine.
I was hoping firstly you could kind of introduce yourself to our listeners.
My name's Kirsty Stubley. I work for the Environment Agency in the flood resilience team in Kent and South London.
So what does that role sort of entail?
Well, I work as a flood resilience officer, so I actually work with communities to help to build their resilience towards flooding.
So what has the Environment Agency been doing since the floods of last year?
Well, across Kent we've actually been doing quite a lot. So we've been revising our flood warning service and improving the service that we're giving to our customers. We've also inspected and repaired more than 11,000 defences and assets across Kent and South London, so it's quite a lot of defences that were damaged in the last year's floods. We're actually on track with our annual maintenance programme as well, so we're keeping up with that quite well. And we've also been building more than 100 new flood defence schemes, which have been completed this year, which protects more than 6,000 more properties.
So, Kirsty, I was hoping you could tell us what's been happening locally in Swale.
Well, we've been carrying out all the usual maintenance activities, so that's things like weed cutting on all our main rivers, and we've been doing defence repairs on the seawalls. We've also been replacing trash screens and refurbishing our sluices to make sure that we're prepared for the next event. But we've also improved the flood warning service for the coastal communities in Swale, so they're more community-focused and transparent flood warning areas for them.
So I was hoping you could let our listeners know how they might be able to prepare for a particularly wet winter.
Well, the first thing that you can do is sign on to our website and find out if they're at risk. So they can go on to gov.uk and search for Environment Agency, or otherwise they could just give us a call via Floodline on 0345 988 1188, and then they can let them know. But also, if they do find out they're at risk, then they can sign up for Floodline Warnings Direct, and as part of that, it's worth making a personal flood plan, which will outline what they need to do when they get a flood warning message.
So I've often heard it said that communities should become more resilient. I was hoping you could tell us how they might be able to do that.
Well, we've worked with a lot of communities over this last year to help them towards their resilience, but communities can actually work together to develop community flood plans. They can build their own flood forums, which can help them to kind of prepare for the next eventuality. But we've also worked with a number of volunteer flood wardens across the county, and we'd always welcome more. We've done some training with Kent County Council, and we've prepared kind of those people to help to lead the community when there's a flood event that occurs in their area.
Kirsty, is there anything that residents can sort of have in mind to do or think about ahead?
Well, it's very easy to look at the sun outside and think that nothing's going to happen, but there's actually so much that they can do to prepare ahead of the time. So they can prepare themselves a flood pack. The most important parts for that would be copies of your home insurance documents and any parts that might help you, so things like torches with spare batteries or radios or waterproof clothing and first aid kits. But also, you shouldn't wait for a flood. Move items of personal value, such as photo albums and family films and treasured mementos and things like that. Move them up to a safe place now. Put them upstairs or something. You know, how many people have got their videos in the bottom drawer of their TV stand and would miss those if they went? You don't have to wait until it happens. Just do it now.
So how can our listeners find out further information?
Well, if they're internet savvy, then they can visit our website at gov.uk and search for Environment Agency. If they like social media, then they can follow us on Facebook, or they can follow us on Twitter at Environment Agency, or at #FloodAware. Alternatively, if they give us a call on Floodline on 0345 988 1188, then somebody will be able to help them on there.
Well, Kirsty, I'd like to thank you very much for giving our listeners all that useful information from the Environment Agency.
Brilliant, you're welcome.